In this video, we're going to be looking at formulas and how we use substitution to solve formulas using the pronumerals that we need to know. Now, I'm going to get you to write this first part down. So often two or more pronumerals or variables represent related qualities. For example, the speed at which a car travels at the time it takes to arrive at its destinations are related qualities. And this is a key definition that you need to write down. A formula is an equation that contains two or more pronumerals that shows how they are related. I'm going to underline these two parts here. So it needs to contain two or more pronumerals and shows how they are related. So we use formula all the time, especially here in maths. So for example, when we're doing area and perimeter, for example, the rectangle, the area of a rectangle is length times width. See, I have a subject here and I have two or more pronumerals to find out what an area is, or if I want to find out the area of a square, I have the side times 2 equals that area. So we use these all the time. Now it's just about how we sort of apply these to our parts of our learning. Key ideas that you need to write down in your notes. The subject of an equation is a pronumeral that occurs by itself on the left-hand side. For example, t. So the subject of this equation is t. That's a pronumeral that appears by itself on the left-hand side. A formula or a rule is an equation that contains two or more pronumerals, one of which is the subject of the equation, which we've looked at previously. And to use a formula, first substitute all the known values into the equation and then solve it. So let's look at how we do that now. What we're going to do is apply a formula to these. So we get given, in these questions, we get given what the pronumeral means and we want to solve for each of those. So I have 3b plus 2. What if I want to start off with b being 5? And I can just simply substitute that in. So instead of b, it's going to be 5 plus 2. I can then solve from there. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 2 is 17. So I can now solve for what k is. If instead of it being 5, what if it was 10? I know that 3 times 10 is 30 plus 2 is 32. In this instance, what if b, how do we know what b is if k equals 23? So in this instance, I have 23 equals 3b plus 2. So again, I'm just going to do the balance method to separate these here. If I add 2 this side, I need to subtract 2 both sides, which gives me 21 equals 3b. If I've multiplied by 3 this side, I need to divide 3 on both sides, which gives me 7 equals b. So that's how you would just simply substitute that formula in, do the balance method, and you get your result. Next, we're going to look at if we have a formula with 3 pronumerals. So we have a number of different parts we need to add in here. So firstly, write out the formula. Q equals W in brackets 4 plus T. And we want to find the value for A, which if W was 10 and T was 3. So Q equals W is 10 in brackets 4 plus 3. Now I can just go through, and we've looked at our previous video how to do expand brackets. So I could go 40 plus 13 equals Q. Therefore Q equals 53. I'll move on to B now, and we can look at how we do that there. Realize I've made a mistake there, so I'm going to go back to fix that error for you. So hopefully you've picked up on that error. So instead of 10 plus 3, it's actually 10 times 3. So really it is 40 plus 30. Which Q equals 70. So good pickup if you picked up on that. Let's get question B done now. So I'll keep the formula there. So Q equals, so Q is 42. So I have 42 equals, and W is 6. And we want to find out what T is. Okay, again we just go through, try and leave T by itself, and we go through the process. We go through the process first by expanding the brackets and then working there from, so 6 times, I'm going to times 6 by these two numbers. 6 times 4 equals 24 plus 6t. Okay, and I can simply just work backwards from there, trying to isolate 6t. So I have, knowing that I want to get rid of this, I know 24 is a positive, so I want to get rid of 24, so I'll take away 24 from both sides, which will leave me with 6t on this side, and 42 minus 24 equals 18. Then if I've times it by 6, I want to divide by 6 both sides. Therefore, t or 3 equals t, or t equals 3. So that's how you apply a formula. You just basically substitute those tasks in and then solve from there using our previous information. Thanks guys.